Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Amy with Notes from Past Amy. Today we're going to be making a pen case sort of in this style. There are a couple of aspects, they're not really features, of this case that I don't like, so we're going to be changing those. The first one being I don't like the seam along the side. I know it's not raw edges, but I don't like that. I don't like the feel of it. I don't like how the elephants are cut off. I'm not super fond of this print, but whatever. This has been sewn in crooked. That drives me crazy. And then the amount of flap here is just, it feels too small. Also, when the pen is in there, this much is too big, which also drives me crazy. So we're going to remake this, and by that I don't mean take it apart and like literally remake it. We're going to make another one. These are the fabrics I have pulled out for this version. We have this, I don't even know what this is. I found it in the drawer, based it on some batting basically. It's a nice thick fabric, basically long enough. It was a touch shy, it's going to be fine. And these two pieces are 2.5 by 16. This is just some quilting cotton from something or other that I didn't have to piece, and it goes pretty well with that. So it's going to look like this. And then I found this really cute measuring tape, vintage style twill tape. I don't think it's a grosgrain. It's got like a V to it. So this is a cotton ribbon of some sort. So we're going to cut off 3 inches of that. So this is the 7.5. We're going to cut it here at 10.5 as soon as I find scissors. And we're going to put that on first, because last time I did this, I forgot to put my ribbon in. I got to the end and there was no ribbon. So we're going to do that first, since I already have the batting. Just baste. Just baste it. We're going to use a 1/4 inch seam allowance, so about 1/8 of an inch. There we go. Let's measure so we know where to put this. And this measuring tape isn't crooked. That would really annoy me. 3/4 inches down. So right there, you can mark it using whatever you want. I'm just going to do the edges, so we don't want this to show at the end. So here, you can use pins or clips if you want to hold that in place when you take it to the machine. Move it towards the center. And we're going to baste that into place. Now that that's on, we can put our pieces back together, right sides. And then you want to mark on whichever side you're going to be sewing from. So it doesn't really matter which way you do it. I'm going to do it on the lining side, not the edge with the ribbon, the other side. Taking my 2.5 inch ruler from that Creative Grids pack we used last time. Put it right on. Mark. If you're talented like me, you'll also mark your hand. Oh, don't do that. That was painful. Put this back. Okay, now that's done. Just going to pin that out of the way since I did not iron my fabric and it keeps folding. And before I forget, we're going to sew. Going back. Now the other side's been prepped. We're going to sew the seam that's right above where we basted our ribbon. Okay, so the 1/4 inch seam allowance, and I'll be right back. And there we are. If you flip it over, you can see the basting stitch, which was not even, but it's fine. And then true stitch, which is good and even. Now we're going to flip them wrong sides together. We can top stitch this if we want. It's a pen case. It's going to be fine. Just going to leave it. Okay, so those are even. We've got our little loop for when it's done. Yay, hooray. We should have done one more thing here, but since we forgot to do it, then we'll do it now. I'm going to measure down 3 inches using this super neon ruler, sorry. Marking both edges. Okay. And that's where this goes. So we had it this way. We just pressed here. We're going to bring this up. You can mark either side, it doesn't matter. To 3. Catch the layers. You don't have to like actually go through. Just enough to hold it. And again, go through into that batting part, but not all the way through, just to hold it. Should have put 2 pins up there. All right, and then all of this should just fold down nicely. There we go. Now the only thing you really need to check is make sure your ribbon hasn't smushed. See how mine has smushed to the side? We don't want that. Smash him back in the middle. Make sure it's flat at the sides. And I'm going to go ahead and put clips in the sides to hold all of this together, about 3 per side, just to make sure everything stays lined up the way we want it to. We'll make one more mark and then take it to the machine. So make sure that stays in. Again, last one. Okay, so here we have our 3. We want to stop just shy of that. And then we're going to leave as much here as we can. We don't want to leave it like where the curve happens. We want to go beyond that. How much did I manage to leave there? It's 1 inch and... okay, it is almost 1.5 inches. And I'm going to repin this since I didn't iron that and it's not flat. There we go. That's better. Now we're going to start at one edge, back stitch, go to here, sew off, come back, start again, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch. You can go ahead and trim this if you want, but like, why bother till you're done? 1/4 inch, 1/4 inch, all the way around, and back stitch when you get to this edge. So then we'll have one solid piece with the place for turning. Almost done. There we go. I marked right here after I was done, went back to make that a little smoother. It's not going to be absolutely perfect, but it's going to be just fine for a pen case. I'm going to go ahead and trim inside this mark that we made, maybe at least 1/8 of an inch for stability. Here we go. And then clipping these corners diagonally. All right. Now, this is the hardest part. We reach in and we need to turn it. That's why I have finally decided on 2.5 wide, because it's just way too hard. And it actually snugs up a lot more than you would think it would. Like, this is going to be a single pen case. So now we get to turn it. You can see me using the eraser side of this pencil. You don't want to poke holes and draw all over it. Bringing it up so that I can grab it and pull it through this opening right here. There. Hopefully that was mostly in frame. Okay. Get that all the way turned. Go ahead and do this top curve. You can use a point turner on this if you have one, if you know where it is. There you go. Or just kind of using your fingers to smush out around those areas. You do need something to poke down in here. So grab mine. Insert at the opening. All the way down. Just going to pull those out. There you go. Did I say pull it out? Push it out. Get your tool out. There we go. Isn't that nice? Now, obviously we need to turn that in. So if you wanted to, you could put a string in like I've done on this one here. Remember how I said I forgot to put the little band? So now we have a string, and it wraps around like a million times because I'm crazy. And then, ta-da! So you can put that in there if you'd rather, or if you forgot this part. Otherwise, we're just going to fold those pieces in. I have much better success if I also put in a couple of pins. I'm going to sew it from this side, so we want to look at it from this side. And then I just top stitch this flap. Gives a nice little finish look to it. We're going to go from here, so just above, what is that, like 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, I don't know, it looks good. 3/16. Okay. Just make it the same on both sides. You don't have to measure it. See how I did? That one's, yeah, basically. It's one hair towards a quarter more than the other side, but yeah, looks good. So we're just going to top stitch from this pin, across our opening to close that up, back down, stop here, maybe 2 stitches, back stitch on each side, and then it'll be ready. And there we are. I had black on the bottom and white or off-white on the top, so can't really see that. But there's my stitching line on the inside. Beautifully padded, a great size. It won't have a 9 on it if you don't use the same twill tape. I did remember what that's called, as I did. This is a little bit soft, so something like a grosgrain would be a little stiffer and not want to bend down like this one does. Maybe I should have picked that brown grosgrain. I just thought this was kind of, you know, had some nice personality. So there it is. It's quite nice, very neutral, but I was ready to try this neutral style after this experimentation. Do not make it 2 1/4 inches wide to start. That's what this one started at. And this fits, but my oh my, it was so difficult to turn. And yes, I put fluffy on the inside and everything. And it fits. It's a little bit more snug, which you might want. It's hard to shake out. I didn't make any progress there. It sits really nicely, but it's a bear to turn. So unless you want to spend several minutes turning it, I must have wrapped it the wrong way. Anyway, don't cut it 2 1/4 wide to start with. Cut it 2 1/2. So much easier to turn. And then if you really do like the style of the original case with the seams edges on the side, I can do that too. Just let me know you want to see it. This one holds age and how 82. Isn't that adorable? I thought it was so cute. Band's a little bit tight on this one, but there we go. Super cute. And yes, I have too much there, but live and learn. These are the 3 cases I have made today. This is the one I've shown you. I think that's the best method, most tips, about as good as it's going to get from me. So hopefully you enjoyed. Make one, post it, tag me, share the video, all the things. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.